Hi, I'm Doug Huntington, and welcome to the last lesson for the first unit. Earlier, I talked about how much you can make in the niche site business. The results can be massive if you follow along and complete the lessons. Now, I'll explain how you can get the most out of this course. It's going to be exciting and intense for a few weeks here. The great part is you've already done the hardest part, the mostly hardest part. This is the part that most people don't do. You took action. That's a huge accomplishment all by itself. It shows me and it shows you that you're willing to take action to accomplish your goals. If you follow this training step by step, you'll learn how to create a niche site that can reach up to 5, 6, or maybe even 7 figures in value. So, how do you make the most out of this training? You should set aside time each week to watch the video lessons and complete the worksheets. The worksheets go along with the videos and help you do the work that's required for each lesson. A lot of the work, if not most, is in the worksheets. You should set aside 5 to 7 hours per week to watch the videos and work on the lessons. I know an hour a day is significant, especially for people with a family and job obligations. And what if you don't have 5 to 7 hours to spare per week? Most people find it effective to wake up earlier in the morning to find spare time. Now, that might not be a good option for everyone. Sleep is important after all. I know when I was working full time, trying to get my side hustle going, I was actually waking up at like 4 in the morning to get things done. I would get my best work out for my own project, and then I would, you know, do my day job. I did a fine job, but I carved out time by losing sleep essentially. It wasn't ideal, but if it's not ideal for you, don't do it, but it's a good option if you're able to, cut a little sleep here and there and then catch up later. Anyway, if you can't make up that much time, it's fine. Don't worry. You will have lifetime access to the training materials so that you can work through the course at your own pace. You can refer back to the material anytime you want. If you want to work through the course as it's delivered, then you need to set aside the time each week to work on it. How should you work through the training? The best students are engaged in the material and actively processing the content, plus they're active in the IMG community. And that means you should remove all distractions when you're working on the course. Don't try to watch a training video while you're watching TV in the background or browsing the web or Facebook is pinging you with notifications. It may sound harsh, but if you want niche sites to be a business for you, then you need to treat them like a business and be willing to put in the hard work. The best way to do that is to watch the videos free of any distractions. Take notes however you prefer. Personally, I like to get out a blank sheet of white paper or maybe a legal pad like this baby right here and a couple pens that are a different color. And then later, if I want to, I'll type out the document to clean them up. That helps me learn exactly what I'm sort of trying to study, and I like writing things down physically. But you may be different, so figure out what you like to do. You can take notes on a new document in your favorite app. That's fine too, if you like Evernote or Google Docs or whatever you want to do. And as you watch the videos, you can take notes and you write down the ideas that you have or questions. And if you need to hear something again, of course, just back up the video and watch it again. Some of the lessons are over the shoulder screen flows that show you how to do something. Those are going to be useful to watch as you're doing some of the specific work like keyword research or competition analysis. Videos and demos will be the primary source, but worksheets are essential, and there's going to be written content as well. Worksheets provide the step-by-step instructions that you need to reach the goal for the given lesson. So it's not optional. You got to do the worksheets. They put whatever you're learning into practice. So you can fill out the worksheets in your Google Docs by making your own copy of it, or you could print out the document and write it by hand. And that's kind of my preference most of the time. Again, I like writing stuff out old school way. You can write your answers out on paper in a notebook as well. Again, I like the legal pads. So whatever you like, just be sure you keep all the material together so you can find it easily. The course is a step-by-step process to help you reach your goal. So follow the instructions in each step and don't skip anything. If you skip something, you'll probably need to go back to that step later. As you're filling out your worksheets in that distraction-free area, focus on the goal for that specific lesson. Be specific in your answers. Don't skip any steps and come back to them later. This is really a form of procrastination, and you want to reach your goal, and that's why we're here. If you write something down, you can always change it later. It's not set in stone or anything. It's your own personal notes. It's your worksheet. So it's totally fine and natural if you think of a better idea later. And I hope you do. For example, your keywords will be refined as you go, since you're going to be able to prioritize your content and do deeper research. Another example is the niche brainstorming session, where you want to come up with ideas. You want to come up with as many ideas as you can. And it's really important to get those ideas out of your head so that you can evaluate them later. Don't try to edit as you go. Anyway, you can write out and type freely as you work on the worksheets. This is not a test, it's a process. It's a way to get the ideas out of your head. So if you're not 100% sure about what you write down, that's totally okay. The video lessons and the screen flows and the worksheets are the majority of the content, but there are a few other resources to supplement them. You have access to the IMG community, so you can chat and talk with other students in the course. The group is not a place to sell or promote anything. You can ask questions and get feedback on something and draw inspiration from the other students out there. I may hop in the group from time to time, but I'm not awesome on forums. People that know me, I'm not awesome on forums. I usually turn off a lot of notifications, but I will be in the group and I'm going to chat with folks, and you probably have interacted with me a little bit already inside IMG. And honestly, I'm going to try and do better to be more of a community member. If you have questions about the content or need support, technical support included, maybe implementing something in the course, don't worry, you have support with this training. Just create a post in the IMG forum and you'll be able to get your question answered. If you have any tech issues, there's an email address that you can send a request to get support. Many of the topics that we cover are dense, so the goal of the course is to give you just what you need, but not more than that. Some of the topics are so dense that there are full courses dedicated to them, sometimes multiple courses. We're just going to go over the essential parts, and it's very difficult to prune off some of the details that provide the nuances for a lot of the topics, but we're going to do our best. I don't want to overwhelm you. For example, I'm going to talk about some on-page SEO and some of the broad strokes to get 80% of the way there. But if you want to go really deep, then you should check out Kyle's on-page SEO course. Or if your niche has a local SEO component, then you may want to check out the local SEO course. Or if you have a site with some content already and you want to audit the existing content, you may want to check out Robbie Richards' audit course. So I don't want to overload you with so much content that is overwhelming. And if you need to go deeper for certain things, there are other resources out there. Ooh, what about the live site? I'm doing something crazy here and something I haven't done before. I'm going to build a site alongside the coursework. I'm just realizing how much extra work that's going to be. But here's the deal. It's risky to do for a couple reasons, and I don't know, I hardly even know why I'm doing it now, honestly. It might not work and my credibility will be shot a little bit. And I'm planning on going for something pretty big, something that I'm going to talk more about in a minute. And the risk is a couple different areas, but one of them is people trying to mess with the site after word starts to spread about what it is. I think at some point it's probably just going to be public knowledge. And I hope we can keep it inside the course for as long as possible. People can try to copy the site or even hit it with negative SEO. One of the other risks, which I'm going to disclose to you right now, is about the competitive nature about the niche that I've selected. I'm not going to reveal it now, but rather at the same time that you're choosing your niche. Since the niche is competitive, the speed in which my site will rank is probably going to be a little bit slower. Sure, there's going to be some ultra long tail keywords that I think I could target with the keyword golden ratio, and I'm going to still have to deal with the Google sandbox, but basically I think I'll be able to get some traffic early on, but this is a pretty big niche that I'm going after. And by the way, if you don't know what the keyword golden ratio is, I'll talk about it later. Anyway, that's the disclaimer about the site. The other side of the story is that I'm choosing a niche that's growing very much. I'm passionate about it and I'm in it for the long haul. I get questions from, I'll call them jokers out there, about making as much money as soon as possible with no capital up front, which is generally a bad approach. Now, for this site that I'm going to build, I have a long-term mindset, and I'm confident that over time, the site will be successful. But still, I really do want to get early traction alongside you. All right, that covers it for now. I want to see you succeed with your niche sites. And if you follow along with the tips in this lesson, you're going to be able to get the most out of this course. And I will see you in the next lesson.